Yapping.
Hello, this is Erica.
Edgar.
And Paulina.
And we are the Yapping Schnauzers. We entertain you with yacht-worthy stories we find around the web. Today's theme is wedding disasters part 3 probably. And the first story is, am I the asshole for refusing to let my brother's fiancé wear my late mother's wedding dress? I, 30 female, lost my mom 5 years ago. Before she passed away, she gave me her wedding dress. She told me she wanted me to have it, whether I choose to wear it at my own wedding, repurpose it, or keep it as a memory of her. It's one of the most sentimental things I own. My older brother, Jake, 33 male, is getting married in a few months to his fiancée, Laura, 29 female. We have a good relationship, but we're not super close. Last week, Laura asked if we could meet up for coffee, and that's when she dropped the bombshell. She told me she had always dreamed of wearing a meaningful dress when she got married and thought it would be so special if she could wear my mom's wedding dress. She said it would be a beautiful way to honor my mom at the wedding. I was completely caught off guard. I told her that while I appreciated her sentiment, my mom gave the dress to me, and it was very personal. I wasn't comfortable letting someone else wear it, especially because I still might want to use it in some way on my own wedding day. Laura immediately got upset and said I was being selfish. She told me it wasn't fair because she never got to meet my mom, and this would be a way for her to feel connected to her. She also said my mom would have wanted her to wear it since she's joining the family. I stood my ground and told her no. I suggested she find another way to incorporate my mom's memory, maybe by wearing a piece of my mom's jewelry or a pair of her shoes, but Laura said that wasn't the same. Now my brother is involved, and he told me I should reconsider because it would mean a lot to Laura. He said I was being unnecessarily difficult over just a dress. Even some of my relatives were saying I should think about the bigger picture and how it would be a touching tribute. I feel guilty, but at the same time, this dress means the world to me. So Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to let her wear it? What do you guys think?
I say it's a little bit difficult because Laura, OP's sister-in-law, and herself can wear the dress, just at different times. But maybe that's not ideal because I don't really feel too close to any clothing or dress. So that doesn't matter to me, but I don't know how she sees it from her perspective.
I think I actually like both sides. I like that the bride wants to honor the mother who's no longer with them here. So I like that she actually went and had a conversation with her and asked about, if she was willing to do that. And also that Laura was thinking about it. However, it's Laura's dress. It's something that it belongs to her, that her mother gave that to her. And, I don't, as much as I like the sister-in-law's idea, it's up to Laura to decide if she lets her wear the dressing or not. It belongs to her. And unfortunately, the brother shouldn't even be involved. He should let them
Deal with it. And hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a huge problem in the future because she said at the beginning that she's not even close to them. So I'm not really sure what's going on in there. It's up to Laura's decision to decide whether
decide,
or not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just one of those things where who really told her about this dress? It must have been the brother because there's no way she could have found out this on her own. So it's more like the brother wanted to save some money. This is just me making assumptions because he said, hey, my mom has a wedding dress that my sister has, and maybe you should ask her to give it to you so you could wear it for the wedding. Now, I liked your idea that maybe both of them can wear it. However, when you have a wedding dress, you get it tailored for your body. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you they probably don't have the same body.
Yeah.
So it's, money and, still money. And it's like one of those things where, if you want to keep your wedding dress after being tailored to you, you don't want to give it away. Or sometimes maybe you do because you want to donate it. But if it's sentimental value like she has it now, it's one of those things where, it's just not easy to be like, yeah, here you go. Because it means to you. It's not just the clothing. It's about the thing that she has left of her mom and that she once wore. It's the sentimental value. It's not the clothing itself. Yeah.
But she can still wear it afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know.
And also, when you wear a wedding dress, it's a unique sentiment. Like it just. But for example, so for my situation, I got my wedding dress, loved my wedding dress, and I kept it for a long, long time until I decided that I wanted to have my wedding dress to give it to someone that really will love it and need it. And so that's exactly what I did. I gifted my wedding dress to one of my, it was my cousin's wife, now wife. And so she was so thankful and so grateful that I was able to give that to her as a present for her wedding, because now my husband and I have been married for a long time. So now she felt like it's something special for her, and it's going to be a blessing for her marriage, and it's going to last a long time because of, how our relationship is with my husband. So, that's different, but every dress is just unique to you. And it just, most people don't want to give them away. They want to keep them forever. And that's understandable. But, there's like me, I decided to give it to someone else that I know it was going to be beautiful, and she was going to look great. And she did. Her wedding was amazing, and she looked stunning.
Yeah, I think it would be different. Like, for example, if you were to have a girl, like if you had a little girl, you wouldn't give it away. You would give it to your daughter. And it's still sentimental. At least that's how I would see it. If I was to have a wedding dress, I would keep it and give it down to my daughter. But you have two sons, so what are you going to...
Yeah, I can't really do that.
So it's just one of those things,
But also the wedding dress can go to, like, just all the matriarchs in the family. Like, it doesn't just have to be, like, from daughter to daughter to daughter. It could just be, like, all the women in, like, that's joined to the family. Because at the end of the day, like, it's still getting passed within the family. And it still gets tailored.
I do like the idea of keeping it in the family. Like, for my dress, it's still in the family. I don't know. She has 2 beautiful daughters, so maybe, who knows? But not, sometimes that doesn't happen. But, it's up to the bride to decide, or to the whoever owns the dress to decide what they want to do with the dress. I don't think no one else has. Yeah, it's her choice. I don't think no one else has to decide for her what to do with her, especially knowing that it was from her mother.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, if she wants to use it for her wedding, she should.
But is it worth, like, having all that drama within the family? Like, between a brother, sister-in-law?
I mean, it's just not just a dress. And the fact that the brother said it's just a dress, it's not. It's very frustrating, because I understand males think about it intellectually or whatever, but this is sentimental value, and there's no price, there is no drama, there's nothing like that matters enough for you to give it up, especially if she wants to use it for her wedding day. Just because he's getting married first doesn't mean that he has the rights to have the wedding dress.
I also think this is a good opportunity for them 3 to sit down and have a conversation heart to heart, and just discuss, and Laura let them know how she feels, and have them understand that she doesn't want to have this to be a big deal. And then this is a beautiful event that's going to happen in their lives. And so she wants to help them, but also understand that, that's her personal feelings, and it's hurt. And if whatever that she can do to help, to get another dress or to do whatever, this is the time to just be together as a family, since the mom is no longer there. And hopefully just come together as one family now, and they can deal with all these things now instead of having them festering in the future.
Yeah, I mean, she did give her options about wearing her mom's jewelry and a pair of shoes, but she still refused. So it's just one of those things where you're like, okay, what else do you want? She's trying to compromise a certain way too, but she still doesn't want that. All right, and then the top comment is, not the asshole. If it were just a dress, like your brother says, your future sister-in-law wouldn't make such a big deal out of your refusal. This is your dress to wear someday or not, but it is your special connection, not hers. Exactly. So at the end of the day, I think it really is her choice. And I don't think she should feel like she's the asshole for refusing.
This is a totally her choice, and it's like no obligation to say yes or no, and she shouldn't feel that way.
You agree, Paulina?
I totally agree.
Okay.
So final verdict on that? Not the asshole.
No, she's not the asshole.
No.
The next story is titled, "Am I the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after finding out only our side of the family were having to pay to attend?" So my younger sister, Katie, 28 female, and her partner, Chris, 29, are getting married in April in Dubai. She has always wanted an extravagant wedding and is going all out on this. So the wedding is happening over 4 days. There are 70 guests, but they want us, me, my husband, and parents, to stay in the same hotel with them, along with her bridesmaids and groomsmen. The hotel is pretty luxe, so with flights, it's still costing us just over 2,900 euros each. Chris's family are also staying in the hotel, which includes his parents, 2 brothers, and his nephew. They are well off. I don't know exactly how much they earn combined, but I know Katie is on 88K and she is the lowest earner. But about 6 months ago, Chris and Katie came to us and asked to borrow 17K more. They stressed it would be on a loan paid over time and said the venue had increased the price. Dubai law was different, blah blah blah. They paid this money or they lost a lot. We believed them and I offered to loan them 7K and my parents the other 10K. So long story short, I have since found out through someone else that the 70K wasn't for the venue. It was for Chris's family to fly over there. They saw how much it was going to be, didn't want to pay, and refused to go. I asked Katie and she confirmed. So my first question was, if they were paying for his parents, why not pay for ours? I would never expect them to pay for me, even if we couldn't afford it. I'd have wished them well and stayed at home. And her answer was, because they can afford it. She got very defensive and said that this was the fairest way she could think of doing it. It's hard enough planning a wedding, but when I asked if you genuinely thought this was the fairest way to do it, why did you lie about what the 17K was for and say it was a venue issue? She couldn't answer. My parents are aware and are very disappointed that they lied, but have said they're still attending, but I have backed out. To me, it feels like my parents are being taken advantage, and if they couldn't afford to pay for both ours and Chris's parents and his brother and the nephew, then they shouldn't have just paid for the 4 parents or no one else at all. And they especially shouldn't have lied about it. Katie and Chris keep calling and asking me to attend, saying I'm making them feel bad and ruining their day, but the whole thing just feels icky to me. I'm generally an open book. So, am I being an asshole over here? Should I just suck it up and go?
I think this is hard. I think he should just go. Because at the end of the day, if his sister wants him to be there, he should be there for her, regardless of how messy it is to get there. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know, but I think she's still in the wrong, though, for lying and saying that, it was for the venue, but it was only for the husbands.
Yeah, and this is like UK money. UK money is like, even though it's like not as much as American money, it's still a lot for them. Like they make maybe like half as much as we make, and so 17K is like basically double here than it is for us then. But I think in general, this wedding is like just too expensive in the first place. Like I feel like barely anyone can really like afford it. That's why like the parents can't go in like naturally, and they didn't want to go because like it was just too expensive. And like I think 4 days is excessive.
Wedding Dubai's are always expensive. Even the flight there is expensive.
But like it's too excessive for what it is. Like 4 days that's just like
4 days.
Yeah, it's a 4-day wedding.
That's insane.
Like no one needs like that much celebration over one event.
I think it all depends on the culture too. We can't rule that out.
The culture is bad if they have to like celebrate for 4 days.
No, I think everybody's entitled to have their own culture. However, you need to keep in mind
some people's cultures are like they eat people. So
dude, but I'm talking about
I'm just saying in general.
You're
the culture is meant to be not subjective, objective for me.
Dude, I'm talking about weddings.
But still,
about eating people.
I'm just saying. Not all the cultures are not equal. And if there's a culture where you have to celebrate your wedding over 4 days, I do not want to be a part of that culture.
You're so funny.
I think I feel bad for the poor parents of Katie. Like, what is she thinking? Like, and her partner. A wedding is a wedding, I understand, but speaking with truth, it's the best thing you can do. Even if it hurts, even if whatever they're gonna think, but when you tell the truth, things probably worked out in a different way for her, and no one would have been hurt. No one wouldn't be in a situation than they are right now. I agree with Erica. Either way, I should attend the wedding, but I'll be with a sad face or upset face and that's not fair to me for the decision that Katie wanted to and the partner wanted to make and not telling the truth, and then that's too bad that she was not upfront with her family and tell her about what she was going to use the money for. And also to just have a wedding that's going to be very expensive that not even the other parents couldn't even afford. And they already told her, no, we're not going. What about doing fundraisers? What about doing other things that she could have the family help? If they truly want them to be part of it, then they should help to be, participate to help to be
get
there.
That money, yeah.
To get that money. So I feel that there are other ways that she could have got the money instead of just getting the money and lying about it.
Exactly. It's just like a lot, and then they're definitely like taking advantage of like the situation. Like the parents can't afford it, and like the other parents that did pay it, like this is like basically half their year of like pay, and they're just going to this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
probably.
the other family they're supposed to be more well off, but they didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah. That's just terrible.
I think it starts the family off on a bad foot for both of them.
I agree.
I think there should be some compromises here, but clearly some people just don't want to make it.
Yeah. Would you guys have paid off your own parents if they were in this situation, like they got taken advantage of like this?
I love what OP said though. He said maybe just pay off the parents' tickets and that's it.
Yeah.
So the mom and dad of the bride and mom and dad from the the husband.
Yeah, because that's what I
like that.
remember for the engagement for us when we paid for everything. I paid for all our parents, like their hotel, and then they also the tickets to go to the spa, because like that was fair, and I wanted them to be there. So like that's the fairest way, and it just shows that I want these people there, like for like definitely.
Yeah, no, I really love that, baby. They're good.
Yeah, I think that's fair and that's understandable. But what she did was not the whole family. I'm sorry. If she wanted to invite the whole family, then she needs to work and she needs to pay for that. No one else needs to pay for someone's flight. If they wanted to go, they wanted to go. If she wanted to have them to go, then she needed to work out a deal with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't think she is. I don't think he's the asshole for not wanting to attend, but I think he should still go just to support his sister. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. It's just that I'd be very upset.
I agree.
Be a Sour Patch.
Unfortunately, I'd be the Sour Patch.
Yeah, the top comment is not the asshole, yet one of the many reasons why I dislike destination weddings. They're the penultimate egocentric events.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like you really have to think about who will be able to make it and who won't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought of going to a different country and get, because I know another country that I would like to go. It's less expensive than here.
Yeah,
it is like Ecuador. Oh
yeah,
my God.
Well, that's what I was thinking. My 20-year anniversary, I guess, or maybe 25, and have another beautiful wedding. But it's actually very cheap, and I will have tons of family that are going to be there, and it will be opportunity to celebrate and just to have my kids to see the blessing of being with my husband in the years that we have been together. But it will be not even what we paid here when I got married.
Yeah, it would be not even less than half, right?
Not even, yeah. And
It's
it will be
so
a beautiful place, beautiful venue, amazing food, and it will be everything included.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to get married in Ecuador, but I'm just saying
I wanted to,
it
but
would be it would be an amazing destination to have your wedding. But like we're talking about Dubai. I'm sorry. That's just a different story.
Yeah. I mean, also you have to factor in everyone has to pay, like, everyone that's not from Ecuador, or anyone who's not from the country you're trying to have, like, the wedding at, is going to have to pay a plane ticket, which is like $1,000, $2,000 per person.
Yeah.
Round trip.
Yeah. That's just crazy.
I know. That's why I'm saying we could have wedding here. Because I know you want your family to be there too, which I completely understand. But for our, like Paulina said, for our 25, we're like having it over there.
We'll have it in Japan, I guess.
In Japan? What?
Someplace everyone has to pay tickets for.
What do you mean? We still have to pay tickets to get over there in Ecuador. Do we live there?
No.
Then what do you mean everybody has to pay tickets? Your family's paying and my family's paying to get tickets to Ecuador. So what's the difference?
Japan.
Yeah. Well, Madagascar.
Madagascar, you're crazy. All right, so what's the final verdict for this? I think we said it already, didn't we?
Yeah, OP, final verdict. OP isn't the asshole, but like that other side of the family, yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think they need to work on it. I think they need to, try to be more accommodating, I guess. Okay, so the next story is, am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding after she uninvited my autistic son from being her ring bearer because he might ruin her day? I, 34 female, have a 6-year-old son, Liam, who's autistic. He's nonverbal but loves people and gets excited on his own way, flapping his hands, making happy noises. My sister, 29 female, is getting married in 2 months and originally asked Liam to be the ring bearer, which I was thrilled about. I've been helping her plan the wedding, even agreeing to pay for the menu $5,000 because she's tight on money. Last week she called me crying, saying she's been thinking it over and decided Liam couldn't be the ring bearer anymore. She said she's worried he might freak out during the ceremony and ruin her perfect day. I told her we could practice with him, and he's been in events before without issues, but she wouldn't budge. She even suggested he not to come to the wedding at all, claiming it would be too much for him. Liam adores her and was so excited to wear a little suit. I got upset and said, if my son isn't welcome, I'm not paying for the menu. Ooh, now she's calling me selfish, saying I'm holding money over her head and ruining her wedding. Our parents are split. Mom says I'm overreacting. Dad says she's being cruel. Am I the asshole for pulling the funding?
I don't think she's the asshole. Like, she's like $5,000 is like a non-trivial amount of money to put into a venue, and like the least like OP, sister-in-law, whoever could do is just like make some concessions. Like, if someone was paying me like $10,000-$20,000 to do like my thing, I wouldn't like piss them off. Like, that's just like not a wise decision to do.
Just compromise.
Yeah, and the fact that she already asked, when you ask a little one to do something, and you said suddenly you said no, you break their hearts because their little ones will, this is, and I'm always relate to what I go through. I have a 7-year-old who, if you say something, mommy, you promise. Oh my God. And it's like, I know I promise and I cannot break your promise. So it would be a pinky promise, mommy. And how can you go back and say to a 6-year-old, no, you're not going to be the ring bearer anymore. You're breaking this little boy's heart. Plus, I'll be honest and I'll be like, I'm not giving you the $5,000. Because the whole reason was that my son, and I already told him, and I already, he was excited about, and now suddenly, you don't want him to participate. That's just wrong. I'd be sad, and I'll be like, I'm not giving you my $5,000. Sorry.
I mean, I understand. Imagine there's something that happens that he, makes a mistake. I mean, but they're little kids. It happens. You've seen videos where little kids like drop something and then everybody laughs and then pick it up and life goes on. The wedding is not ruined. You continue. And I mean, come on. If she really wasn't willing to have him be part of the wedding, then she shouldn't have said anything. She shouldn't have offered it. And especially with somebody who's autistic, like they don't really understand fully. Even a 6-year-old still wouldn't understand fully, but I feel like, it's one of those things that are simple in life where they're like really excited and it means maybe the world to him right now. And the fact that he won't be able to do that or even go to the wedding is insane to me. I think she went overboard with this, and I don't think she's an asshole at all. I'm glad she's taking away that money because she don't deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, the kids like don't understand, like especially at that age, that plans change, and it just would be like too much for them, and it just would be like a little bit unfair.
Yeah. So the top comment is she can do whatever she wants at her wedding, but not on your dime. Exactly. I agree.
And also, like, she's just insulting her child at the same time.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're not including my son. Forget it. Like, because that's my son, and yes. And there's other ways. Like she said, we can practice, we can go over again. And it seems like he's been to events before, and seems like there hasn't been a problem. But yeah, I don't know. It seems just weird that all of a sudden she doesn't want him to participate. It's just weird.
Yeah, and then any kid in any event, there's always a room for something happening or going wrong. Right. Kids are kids. They're never going to do everything perfect. No. So it doesn't matter that he's autistic or not. He's a child.
Yeah. Instead, they're actually going to put a smile on people's face.
Exactly.
Yeah, find a better Tana.
Yeah, she's not the asshole.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hope he's right to take away the money.
Yes. Snatch that away.
No more venue. The next story is titled, Am I the asshole for telling my sister not to announce her pregnancy at my wedding because I was going to announce mine, but she did it anyway? I, 29 female, got married 3 months ago to my amazing husband, 31 male. It was supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life, but my sister, 32 female, managed to overshadow it in a way that I can't seem to move past. A little background, my husband and I had been trying for a baby for a while, and when we finally got that positive test, we were over the moon. We decided we would share the news with our family and friends at our wedding reception. Nothing crazy, just a small, heartfelt moment during the speeches. Only my parents and my maid of honor knew about this plan. A few weeks before the wedding, my sister pulled me aside to tell me that she was pregnant. I was genuinely happy for her, and we had a sweet moment together. Then she casually mentioned that she was planning to announce it at my wedding. I was shocked and told her, as kindly as I could, that I would prefer she didn't. I even explained why, because I was also pregnant and planning to share the news that day. I asked if she could just wait just a little longer so that they could stay focused on the wedding. She seemed a bit annoyed, but didn't argue much, so I thought that was the end of it. Well, fast forward to the reception, and guess what? Right after the speeches, she stands up, clinks her glass, and announces her pregnancy. The whole room erupts in cheers, and suddenly my wedding turns into her pregnancy celebration. I was stunned. I didn't even get the chance to share my own news, because it felt like I'd just be trying to one-up her. Later, when I confronted her, she acted like I was overreacting and said she just couldn't keep it in anymore. When I told her how hurt I was, she said I was selfish for wanting to control when people share their happiness. My parents think she was out of line, but are telling me to let her go for the sake of family peace. But I can't seem to move on. Every time I think about my wedding, I feel this bitter pit in my stomach because she took away a moment that was special to me. She, on the other hand, thinks I'm being dramatic and says I should be happy for her instead of making everything about myself. So am I the asshole for not letting this go?
And this is so infuriating.
I know.
Oh my God.
Like the sister made it about herself and then told OP on her wedding day not to make it about herself.
Oh my God, I want to grab her by the hair.
No, grab her by the baby.
What?
By the fetus.
No, I'm gonna grab her by the hair. Oh. This is so frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's crazy. Yeah, when I'm listening to the story, it's like, what kind of world we're living in right now? I'm like, this is her wedding. This is her day. What would you, this is, what it looks like to me. It's like you have, there seems to be some type of rivalry between both of them, because that's what it looks like. One wants to be the center of attention, and the other one is like, but wait, it's my day. It's like, well, I don't care. I'm going to do it no matter what. And it seems like
crazy.
I think that's, you know, with this story, I feel like there's something in the past it's probably not the first time. It seems like it's something that's just been happening. And now, you know, you can see that. And unfortunately, it got to the point that it's like a big event, something that you care about so much, and that someone would just ruin it. And every time you think about your wedding, you'd be like, instead of a happy memory, you have a real bad memory.
Yeah. It's a bad taste in your mouth. Yeah.
I do think that I think it's right for the parents or for the whole family for her to let that go, because it's not good to keep those things in your heart, because it's, you know, forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole thing about letting go. It sucks, yes, but it's not for you. It's not for the sister, but it's for your own sake.
Yeah, of course. I think she should let it go for her own sake, but
it was wrong. Yes.
It was, totally, I mean, I don't blame
wrong.
her for being upset and just not wanting to. Maybe she needs time. I think she needs time away from her sister and then eventually, you know, bring her back in. But because, I mean, I don't blame her. I would be really upset.
Plus, both of them are pregnant, so their hormones are all over.
Oh my gosh.
So, yes, they're probably, I don't even know what happened there. I wouldn't even want to be there.
I know.
There would be so much drama in that conversation right there.
Right.
Yeah, they're both pissed and emotional times 100.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the top comment is, whatever you do, do not share your baby's name with your sister. I've seen it too many posts of jealous sisters stealing baby names. And she seems terrible enough to do it.
Yeah, it looks like.
It's like so weird too. Like, why steal someone else's name idea? Like, I don't get the rationale for that.
Yeah, no.
I've seen that happen too.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, personally.
My sister and I were, a few months apart when we both had boys, and we both were happy for each other. Mm-hmm. And we didn't steal the boys' names. We have two different boys, and they each one have a different first and middle name. And so, you know, I'm like, I don't understand that how a sister can do that to you and ruin your whole your wedding day and your news. You know, mm-hmm. I'm sure she will have, like, she could have done it in a different day where there was family involved, or she wanted to do it in social media. You know, now there's so many ways of sharing the news, and that
they
she
do a
needed
whole
to
celebration.
do that.
Yeah, they do with the baby popping, the cake
that's
cutting.
So sad. That's so sad with the sisters.
Yeah, it didn't have to be this way, but that sister made it this way, and it didn't have to be like that.
I know, she just hijacked the entire day.
Yeah,
because
that's
now
sad.
people are gonna. I mean, I feel like it's tacky. Like, imagine, like, oh, remember this chick's wedding, and then the other person will be like, yeah, that's when they announced the baby, didn't they, for another family?
Yeah, and it makes the sister look bad anyways too.
Yeah.
Like, it literally sees how selfish she is, that ruining her sister's wedding day by bringing up her important news when it's not her day.
I know.
Her sister.
It ruins both of their news.
Yeah. So
what the news is. It ruins the baby reveals for both sisters, and also ruins the wedding.
Yeah.
It's not. Was not even one. It has two. So many events right there in one day.
Yeah. Yeah. She should have not done that. Yeah. Especially if she said don't do that. That, you know, she said respectfully not to do it. And she went against her will and said, well, I couldn't hold it in. You're an adult. You know how to hold things in.
Self-control.
Yes. You should know how to do that.
And don't blame it on the baby.
No.
That baby's cursed.
Or your hormones.
Exactly. All right.
Final verdict?
She's not overreacting, and she's not losing her mind.
Yeah, I think she's the asshole. She really is the sister.
Oh, no, the sister, okay. Yeah. I agree that the sister's the asshole. But OP, yeah, she should just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
For her own sake.
Just especially because they're both gonna have babies, and you don't want that relationship to be ruined because of both of them. And the kids might have a good relationship. Leave that aside, and have the kids have a good relationship and learn from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Be better. Be a better person.
Yep.
Yeah. So the next story is, am I the asshole for calling off my wedding after my fiancé bought a house with his mom? Whew, this one seems interesting. Okay, so me, my 28 female, and my fiancé, 30 male, have been together 5 years. We were planning our weddings for this fall and have been talking for years about our future, like kids, finances, and buying a house together. We had a whole plan saved up, find something we both loved, make it our home. This was talked about a lot. Well, turns out he already bought a house, but not with me, with his mom. And he didn't even tell me he was looking. Apparently, she found the perfect place and convinced him to split it with her because she didn't want to rent anymore. So now, instead of us planning our future together, he's financially tied to his mother, who's going to be living there full time. I just stared at him like, what? And when I asked where I fit into all of this, he goes, oh, well, you can move in too, of course. Like I'm supposed to be thrilled to live in a house his mom picked out, partially owns, and is just there all the time. He also admitted he did it because I was taking too long to save, and his mom offered him a faster way to own something. I was so shocked and pissed. I told him I needed space, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized I can't marry someone who thinks this is normal. So I called off the wedding, and now his whole family is blowing up my phone saying I'm being dramatic, that it's just a house, and that I'm overreacting because we can still live together. Even my own parents are saying canceling the whole wedding is extreme. Like, am I losing my mind? Am I the asshole, or is this a giant red flag?
So yeah, I think OP's ex-husband now, or ex-fiancé, should have told her the plan, because I feel like it just came out of the blue.
I would divorce you. I'm sorry. Bye. Bye. I don't need anything from you. I'm done. I would just leave. Pack my bags, go.
I'd be like, girl, run away right now.
Yeah.
You're not at the altar right now. Well, even at the altar, you can still run away.
Exactly. Jen said, yeah.
But no, that's a huge red flag. I'm sorry. That's a huge red flag. The fact that both of you have talked about getting a house, planning your future, and all of a sudden he planned part of his future without you. Mm-hmm. That's not okay.
A big part of your future,
Exactly.
by the way.
Yeah, it's a big one. And it's like nothing happened. Like it was just something small. No, that's huge, because especially that your future mother-in-law is going to live there.
Yeah, that's weird. I would not
sorry.
like that.
That wasn't even planned. That they never talk about that. So
How
it's
have
like
privacy.
Yeah. No, I'd be like,
I think it's also weird.
sorry.
Like he suggested like the solution to all this like mess is that they live with his mom, and build their family with his mom like that.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I'm just upset because even her parents were like, you're overreacting. You should still get married. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's like not their decision.
I'm sorry. If my sister told me that her fiance did this to her, I'd be like, girl, let that man go. You deserve better. Come live with me. Like, no way. No way.
I know. Me too. I'd be like, no, don't do that to yourself. This is not okay.
And it's just scary because really, if you think about it, in the future, if he's doing this already, imagine what else he's going to be like. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we got this car, or I put out a loan for both of us, or something. You know, you just never know what else he could do because his mom said, it's okay.
I agree.
Yeah. It just pushes back their actual plans, like getting a house alone together.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just scary to think that he thought this is not, that she's overreacting, that she's the one that's being crazy here. And like she's got to the point that it's like, am I losing my mind here? Am I in the wrong? Like she has to write this out because so many people are gaslighting her.
And also when you have that the feeling in your tummy, that's just telling you, nope, this is not okay. And sometimes we ignore that feeling. And sometimes we need to stand up in our ground and said, no, I'm not going to do that to myself. Because people can talk, people can say whatever, but it's your life, your future. So I don't think she's overreacting. And yes, I think it's a red flag.
The top comment is, he didn't just buy a house. He built a whole future with his mommy and left you out of it. That's not a mistake. It's a conscious decision to prioritize her over you. And the fact that he thought you just move in like a guest in a home his mother controls Disrespectful as hell. This isn't just a red flag, it's a parade of them. If you marry him, you're not getting a husband. You're setting up to be the third wheel in his codependent mommy son fantasy. He's already made his choice and it wasn't you. So do yourself a favor, pack your bags, block his family, and go find a man who actually sees you as his future, not attendant in his mommy's house.
Whoa.
Couldn't send it better. Yes, shots
That's what
fired.
we're trying to say, all of us. Together.
I'm just wondering why, like, even her family wants them to stay together. Like, what perspective can they have? Like, can we like try to imagine like we're in their shoes? Like, why would we want them to still be together despite this?
Reputation? Maybe depending,
or
it's like
maybe
a small town, and
Or maybe how old they are.
yeah, maybe she's just to date somebody
maybe
else.
also thinking about her, how she will feel after the whole thing, because planning a wedding is emotional, and when you're planning your wedding, you want everything to go right and this and that, and you're gonna feel after she pulls out the wedding, it's gonna be sad because you're gonna be like, I was looking forward for my wedding. I was doing this, and all of a sudden everything is gone. And you're not going to get married. You're probably going to see the invitations. You're probably going to see the wedding dress. And it's like, you're going to be, it's going to take some time for her to get up again and keep walking. But nothing is impossible. But I think just like the comment said, I think it's a giant red flag. You still have time to run away and to back up and find someone else that will actually plan the future with you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree 100%. I think it's just maybe they're thinking about her happiness now, and not in the future.
Yeah.
Like for me, I would say, you're going to be really heartbroken now, but I think you deserve better. And even though it's going to be painful now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get over it and find somebody that truly values you. Yeah.
So what's the final verdict?
I would say that she is not the asshole. She should just dump him.
Yeah, same here.
She definitely should. She is in the right for calling off the wedding altogether.
So the next story is titled, "Am I the asshole for telling my dad he can't bring his new girlfriend to my wedding? I, 26 female, am getting married in April. Recently, my dad called to ask if he could bring his new girlfriend to my wedding. From what he told me, they met in December over Facebook, have never seen each other in person, and I don't think they are dating officially. I told him this sounds like he wants his first date to be at my wedding, and that's weird because she's a stranger to both of us. He's a little upset, but he said okay. My grandma called me to say I was being unfair because he really likes her. I told her that he has liked all his previous girls, and all those relationships ended because he's a serial cheater. She said I'm being unreasonable, but I don't think I am. I'm just uncomfortable with having this woman at the wedding. Transparently, my mom is bringing her boyfriend of 8 years to the wedding. My father doesn't have a +1 because he brings his flings to my important events, and since they are family, then cheats on them. So yeah, the father is a whole mess.
He's a Casanova.
Not even.
Chill out.
Yeah,
So sad. I think she only wants to bring a stranger to this wedding just to make himself look a little bit okay to like the ex-wife.
Oh yeah, he probably doesn't want to see his ex-wife see him by single and have nobody next to him. That's all it is.
I know.
And not because they mean anything to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I completely get why she doesn't want to bite the girlfriend, because what's the point of paying for the girlfriend if it's just a fling? That's unreasonable for her father to expect to be okay with that.
Yeah, that's basically the daughter's paying for the date.
Right,
her
and
own
she
father.
she doesn't even know what she's gonna do on the wedding.
What if there's drama? Oh my gosh!
I'd be like, no.
Unnecessary.
Oh my god, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, like for example, depending on what venue or where she's going, it could be $250, it could be $80 just for the plate, and then for the guests be more. It's just crazy. This is not worth it for a fling.
Yeah, he can go somewhere else, and then
Yeah.
If he doesn't cheat on her.
exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Some people are just meant to be alone.
Well, I feel like people are like this because they haven't worked on themselves and tried to better themselves to be actually with a serious person. So the top comment is, I've not had an actual wedding, but for my understanding, the prices are per head, right? So not only is he planning to make your wedding his first date, he wants you to pay for it. He and the grandma can kick rocks, not the asshole.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I agree. I think she shouldn't be invited. And he shouldn't have a +1. It's fine for his mother because he had a boyfriend for 8 years. He's not a fling.
Yeah, it's not like a stranger. It's like someone that like OP probably met a few times.
Yep. Exactly. And the fact that, he's trying to say, well, your mom is bringing somebody. Yeah, no. It doesn't matter. You're in the wrong here, son. I mean, sir.
Yeah. Basically a son. But yeah, what is the final verdict then?
I would say, nah, she's not the asshole.
Yeah, she's not the OP is not the asshole.
No, not. The final story is, am I the asshole for telling my fiancé I don't want her to wear her late husband's wedding ring during our ceremony? I, 30 male, am engaged to Emily, 30 female. We're getting married this fall. I love her deeply, but I've never been more sure about anything in my life. That said, there's one thing that's been eating at me. I'm not sure if I'm being selfish or just honest. Emily was married once before to a guy named Tyler. They got married young, early 20s, and he passed away in a car accident about 5 years ago. It was sudden and tragic, and from everything I've heard, they were truly in love. I met Emily 2 years after his death. At first, she was very open about it, and I respected that. I knew coming into this relationship that it wasn't her first great love, and that I was okay with that. I still am, mostly. Over the years, I've supported her through moments of grief, anniversaries, random waves of sadness. She still visits his grave on his birthday, and she keeps a box of his things in our closet. I've never touched it. She's shown me a few pictures of them together, and I've listened to her talk about what kind of person he was. I've tried really hard to respect that part of her life, while also building her own. Which brings me to now. A few weeks ago, Emily told me she plans to wear Tyler's wedding ring on a chain around her neck on her wedding day. She explained it was quite a quiet tribute, not something she wants to announce or make a big deal about, just something personal. She said she wouldn't be where she is now without having gone through that loss, and she feels like carrying that part of her story into the new chapter is meaningful. I didn't say much at the time because I didn't know how to respond, but the more I sat with it, the more it bothered me. So I finally told her how I felt. I said I want our wedding day to be a celebration of us, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea of wearing another man's wedding ring, even if he's gone. I told her it makes me feel like I'm sharing the most important day of my life with someone who's not here. I said it makes me feel like second place. She got very quiet and told me that she wasn't choosing him over me, and that she's allowed to honor her past while still moving forward. She said grief isn't a door you close, it just becomes part of who you are. I get that. I really do. But at the same time, I don't think I'm asking something outrageous by wanting this one day, our day, to be about the life we're building together, not just what she lost. Since then, there's been a weird tension between us. She hasn't brought it up again, but she hasn't said she changed her mind either. I feel like the bad guy, like I'm trying to erase someone important to her, but I'm also struggling with the idea of standing at the altar and knowing she's still literally carrying a symbol of her first marriage, as she says vows to start a new one with me. I've told no one in my life about this, not my friends, not my family, because I know how it might sound, but internally it's tearing me up. I don't want to hurt her, and I definitely don't want to start a marriage with resentment or guilt. But am I wrong for what I said? I haven't asked her not to wear it explicitly yet, but it made it clear I'm not comfortable with it. Am I the asshole? This is deep, right? This is hard.
Yeah, this is a sad story. But I think she needs more I think she needs counseling. Grieving takes time, and she's still hurting with everything he mentions about the things that she kept. Mm-hmm. And I guess, yes, there's a time where you keep certain things with you, but there's also a time where you need to let go, because it's not going to do any good to you, especially if she's starting a new chapter of her life with a new person. Yes, I think there's a way that you can attribute to your past and what it brought to you. But there's also a time where you need to say, okay, I'm grateful and I'm letting you go because this is my new future. And so I think it's a little bit too much. I think having a conversation, even having someone that they can both share, like even going to therapy together, or, I feel like it's needed, especially because he's being very kind to her. Mm-hmm. He's being very respectful, and he
loves her.
Yes, he truly does. And you can see it by everything especially all the things that she's kept. And, but this is his wedding too, not just her. And this is both of them. And so I think both of them need to work on moving to a new chapter together. And it's the two of them.
Not just him willing to start a new life with her, because this is where the misconnection comes in. She still doesn't want to let go of her past.
Right.
And he's not saying to forget him at all and not think about him at all, because that's obviously not realistic. He's just saying, let's start a new life now, because we are making vows to each other to spend the rest of our life together. And so I think it's not selfish, or it's not too much to ask for him to say that to her. And I think at this point, I know there's, obviously I've never gone through a loss immense like this, but I think if you really want to love somebody fully and you want to start a new life, then you have to be able to be ready for that. And if she's not ready, then they shouldn't get married.
Right. I think that's what I was thinking too. The fact that I don't know if they're rushing it, that she might not be ready, because she's still not, she's bringing her past with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can't start a new relationship with your past. Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
What do you think, babe?
Pause, think of it as optimistically. Maybe this is her, letting go of the past husband, having this wedding ring in her connect during the ceremony. But also, it seems like OP is not comfortable with that at all. So if she wants to have some ceremony where she's letting go and having it be accepted, oh, my ex-husband spiritually is letting me go now. They should do it before the wedding ceremony, have it private with her only, or with her and the husband. But yeah, not in the wedding, since obviously hopefully isn't comfortable with that.
I like that.
I like that too, babe. That's a good job. I think it's just one of the things where they need to try to figure out what is best for both of them. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to start something with resentment or feeling like you're not being understood and ignored. Because if she doesn't bring the ring around her neck, then she feels like he's not letting her feel or mourn or whatever. And then if he does and she doesn't, then she's going to feel like it's just back and forth. It's going to be bad. Yeah. So they need to have that talk.
Yeah.
The top comment is, I was widowed at 29 and remarried at 6 years later. I can totally relate to your fiance's rationale for this and also understand your very normal feelings about it. That said, I think she's wrong. Your wedding is inherently, implicitly, and factually about your relationship together, and her late husband shouldn't be part of it. There are lots of ways she can continue to honor and remember him for the rest of her life. This is one day. My worry for you is that she's doing it as a sort of an apology to him for moving on with you. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that either. Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. Saying that she thinks it's I'm sorry, I'm moving on. She hasn't moved on. I think she needs to really...
That's what I'm saying. I think she needs to go through therapy about grievance.
Yeah.
Because she's holding it too strong. She doesn't want to let it go. It seems like even to her wedding, for her to bring that to her wedding, I think there's a lot of stuff that she's dealing with. Yeah. And I feel like, Tyler is just being very accommodating with everything that he's doing and to help her. But he also needs to speak up, because otherwise it's not going to do any good to her either.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, she's enabling.
Yeah.
Wanting in this unhealthy way.
Yeah,
right.
definitely. I think he's been more than enough understanding with her, and because he loves her. But I also don't think, I think we were talking about this a little bit, me and Edgar, but it's also not fair to him either to be with somebody that's not willing to let go of her past and start a new life with him. So if she's not willing to do that after, a certain amount, going to therapy, and she still wants to continue, then, she's not ready. And if she's willing to continue, wait his life 5 more years, 6 more years, have his life in pause until she's finally ready to love him, I don't know if that's fair to him either. And then I'm not saying to break up, but I'm saying he should really think it through and see if he's willing to wait until she's finally ready to be with him. And we don't know how long that would be because grievance doesn't have a time limit. So, it's not fair to him either because he deserves to be loved as well.
Yes. I agree. This is a really sad story.
Mm-hmm. It is because it's not her fault either that she lost her husband.
It's not her fault.
It's just one of those things where it's like, it's hard.
Yeah. So final verdict?
I
don't think anyone's the asshole in this story.
No, I don't think so.
I think everybody is just trying to love each other as much as they can, and that's why, honestly, I agree with Paulina. They need some counseling. I think both of them need counseling, honestly, and together as well, relationship counseling, so they could continue and try to take on life with partnership. And that's all the stories we have today. Thank you, Paulina, for joining us and our audience for tuning in this week's episode. Check out our website, www.yappings.com, and join our mail list for updates. If you love our podcast and want to support us, subscribe and share to your friends and family. We would appreciate it so much.
Also, we started a Facebook group called AITA-Relationship and Family Drama, linked in the description. Join so you can share Am I the Asshole posts you like, or share your own stories for us all to judge. We may even read a few posts in one of our episodes if you're lucky.
Thank you. Bye.